As Joseline Hernandez paced back and forth in her opulent, but empty mansion, the city's bright lights flickered, casting an eerie glow on the skyline. Her life seemed to be going smoothly just a few days prior, with a career, a daughter, and a man who had supported her through thick and thin. The high-end furniture and artwork that adorned the walls of her living room were testaments to her success, but tonight nothing could console her. Her mind was racing with a million thoughts, each one more sinister than the last, and the news she had just received had completely upended her world. Always there to support her endeavors, including creating music together, and even posting tidbits of their private lives on social media. Despite their love for one another, their relationship was far from ideal. There were reports of friction and uncertainties about their relationship, but nothing could have prepared her for the heartbreaking news that suddenly hit her like a ton of bricks. Late one night, Joseline was browsing through her phone, something she had done countless times before, when a text message appeared that completely stopped her dead. It wasn't from Ballistic, a friend, or even an anonymous source. It was just the heartbreaking reality about Ballistic's. A younger girlfriend was expecting a child. No matter how many times she read the words, her hands trembled as though she could somehow will the message to vanish. However, the harsh reality remained the same. Her man had gotten another woman pregnant by someone younger, someone she didn't even know existed, and the mere thought of it sent her into a downward spiral. The idea that he had concealed this from her, the lies that had grown between them, was what made the betrayal feel like a kick to the gut. It wasn't just about the other lady. Joseline had always been a lady who valued integrity, loyalty, and respect. How could he have violated all three? The news destroyed her perception of their relationship. The night was quiet except for the frantic sound of her own breathing, and she could feel the anger building inside her chest, a fury she hadn't felt in a long time. Her mind was racing with images of confrontation, of words she would throw at him, of the chaos she would unleash, and of making him pay. The betrayal wasn't just about a child, it was about her pride, her trust, and her heart. As the hours went by, her rage only grew, and her social media posts were filled with cryptic messages that practically screamed. She lost control of her emotions as a result of the internal tempest she was fighting. The betrayal had sparked something deep inside of her. In the quiet of her home, she sat on her plush sofa and stared at the phone in her hand, as if calling him would somehow clarify things, but nothing would improve the situation. Primal and raw, she had always been an open book and unafraid to speak her mind, but tonight her words would be sharper and louder. When she eventually pushed send and contacted him on the other end of the line, her hands trembled violently in her breast. Ballistic's voice sounded far away, as if he was completely unconscious of the storm that was building on them. There was a long pause before he answered, but his words did little to calm the storm inside of her. He tried to explain and apologize, but Joseline was beyond comprehension. The lies, secrecy, and betrayal were too much for her to handle. When she finally heard his voice, it felt like a slap to her already broken heart. She didn't give him a chance to say much before she erupted. "How could you do this to me?" Ballistic, her voice shaking with anger and hurt. "After everything we've been through and everything I've done for you." The betrayal wasn't just about a mistake. It was about trust being broken, and about the future they had once dreamed of together collapsing before her eyes as the call came to an end. She was always playing games, and now this baby had a whole new existence. The woman who had once loved him passionately now found herself facing a painful reality. The relationship was over, but the damage would last. Joseline sat back, feeling as though the world had fallen on her shoulders, and there was no going back now that the truth had been revealed. Interview 4:18-6:16. The drama-filled life of Joseline Hernandez and her fiancé, Ballistic Beats, also known as Robin and Juma, is becoming utterly chaotic. According to the most recent rumors, Ballistic supposedly abandoned Joseline and went on with someone else. This might be a narrative twist, but it gets even juicier because Ballistic isn't hiding his reasons for the breakup. Rumor has it that he called Joseline out for being unclean and, to put it mildly, unsanitary. We are not sure if these accusations are true, but this isn't the first time Joseline's hygiene has been in the news. In fact, several people, including Carissa, have come out against her in the past, repeating the same accusations. Getting dumped over something like that is a difficult pill to swallow. The drama is intense, and you can be sure that we'll be watching this story develop. Interview 7:04 a 7:08. In April 2019, Joseline and Ballistic made their Instagram official, and everything seemed picture perfect. Ballistic is a talented music producer, and Joseline not only made music together, but also starred in reality TV shows like Love and Hip Hop Miami, Marriage Boot Camp, and Joseline's Cabaret. By September of the same year, they were engaged, and in a heartfelt birthday post, she promised loyalty, love, and everything in between. However, hold on, things have taken a turn for the worse. Abrupt decline in quality now, Ballistic is allegedly moving on and exposing Joseline's dirty laundry. Whether these hygiene accusations are true or not, the breakup has drawn attention, and let's face it, Joseline needs to clean up both literally and figuratively. Additionally, if anyone believes they can come for Joseline and get away with it, they must be living under a rock, because everyone and their mother knows that she doesn't play CIS, and that she is quick to throw hands if you even breathe incorrectly in her direction. Identical Carlos really believed she could drag Joseline's hygiene through the mud and avoid getting caught. What's even more outrageous is that Carissa isn't the first to spill the tea on Joseline's alleged funk. Joseline faced armed police officers and survived to tell the story. Now, that's the kind of energy we are here for. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Carissa was right for being messy, but perhaps Joseline should think about some solutions rather than throwing bows whenever someone makes a suggestion about Miss Joseline's scent problem. Let's face it, nobody can be telling the same thing. Now lie, this entire stanky the saga began a few days ago when Joseline appeared as a guest on the Anti-podcast, which was hosted by Tokyo Tony Tiak. You guessed it, Carissa herself was there. As soon as Joseline strutted in the air, you could feel the tension building like a pot on the verge of boiling, and Joseline wasn't holding back. Sis came in full force, labeling Carissa a sour old lady, and outright accusing her of jealousy because, in contrast to Carissa's dusty dreams, Joseline is at least 20 years younger, and has receipts for days. However, Joseline didn't stop there. Boasting about how she's making millions of dollars for Zeus Network, and making young girls famous while Carissa's son is incarcerated, what a low blow. Then came the actual twist. This showdown is just getting started, and I'm excited to watch how it plays out. Joseline twisted the knife, calling out Carissa's funky breath, and her incapacity to dress to save her life. Carissa, on the other hand, just sat there taking it all on the chin like a pro, and didn't flinch or move. Interview 10:04-12:17. Despite her embarrassment, Carissa refused to let Joseline have the final say, sweetheart. Carlosa went live on Instagram a few days after that questionable interview went viral, and, well, she had a lot to say. During the interview, she didn't have the courage to face Joel directly, but she found her voice on film. According to Carlos Let It All Hang Out, Joseline had a funky coup and disclosed that she had made the producers remove certain elements. According to Carissa, there was a weird scent in the air when she first walked into the room. After a minute, it became evident that the smell was really emanating directly from Joseline's intimate area, although initially everyone thought it was one of the cameramen who just didn't understand what soap was. The drama is getting hotter, so grab some popcorn because the shade was real, and you know this story isn't finished yet. Interview 13:13, 15:46. Naturally, this sparked a fire in the streets as people said that Carissa ought to have maintained the same enthusiasm while sitting across from Joseline rather than waiting to go viral online. One person said politely, "If you've ever been around Joseline, you know this. But it's not tea because Joseline will tell you that she doesn't wear deodorant for environmental reasons. So noting and thinking you embarrassed her because she already knows, while another person said, now that I heard. Alongside Carissa, I watched the show's replay. Hold on, this drama train wasn't going to stop anytime soon. People quickly reminded everyone that this wasn't Joseline's first time being accused of having a slightly strange scent, and they began dragging her all over again. They said that instead of attacking everyone, Joseline might want to look into some personal care tips. Carissa was blanking and looking like something funky, lol. Carlos couldn't stop talking about her little funk problem, so she went all out and slammed into the comments, blaming Joseline for having a BBL on top of everything else. Like, girl, haven't you had enough? Carla stated they are getting these BBLs and forgetting they hold fun the first time, emphasizing the drama, and trying to milk every last bit of messiness out of the entire situation. Joseline's purported hygienic problems hit the streets back in 2017 when she and Kay were at odds. Michelle Joseline chose to get personal while in her petty bag by bringing up the awkward incident in which rapper Uncle Murder claimed that Kay. Michelle was having a stank situation. Joseline even went into great detail on home remedies and that Kay, Michelle may take to deal with that stink. Interview, 17:24 to end.